What's good? It's Woog. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's talk boxing. What a fight! This was a signature win for Deontay Wilder, whose name and resume had already grown to the top 2 in the division, and it didn't come without adversity. Wilder dropped 2, maybe 3 of the first 4 rounds and looked tentative and unsure of how to let his hands go versus a skilled, powerful southpaw who repeatedly made it clear that when Wilder does decide to throw, that there could be hell to pay in return. Then in the 5th round, his out-of-this-world power put Ortiz on the canvas. Ortiz made it out of the round, and it appeared that Wilder had seized control, but there was still this calmness in Ortiz. His right jabs and straight lefts to the body were landing more frequently, and he was closing the distance with his hard counterpunches, getting closer and closer to Wilder's chin. Then, in the 7th round, in a wild exchange, Ortiz caught Wilder upside the head twice, and Wilder was extremely wobbled. His legs were so shaky, and he continued to absorb shots to where everyone watching was expecting Wilder to fall like a tree, except for Wilder. He continued to tie up, push off, moved his head, wobbled away with his back bouncing off the ropes, everything he needed to do to survive that round, and Ortiz was looking for the kill. Wilder survived. As he got off the stool to start the 8th round, his legs still looked shaky, and the doctors, kinda questionably in my opinion, checked on him to see if he was okay. I didn't think he was ready, so that time that the doctors took probably helped Wilder. He looked like he was just moments away from collapsing, but again, he somehow survived that next round. Granted, Ortiz had thrown a lot of punches in the previous round and was happy to win the round while being able to restore his own energy. But in the following rounds, Wilder made him pay for that, winning the 9th round, then cracking him in the 10th with a couple straight rights and wide looping left hooks over the top, popping Ortiz upside the head by the ear, wobbling Ortiz and sending him tumbling to the floor. Now when Deontay starts letting those hands go and feels like he's got an opponent hurt, the violence is really something to behold. He just starts winging a series of fast, devastating power punches, leaving himself a little more vulnerable, but you really have to have some guts to do anything but try to cover up or just hit the canvas and get the hell out of there. Ortiz made it back to his feet, stayed in the pocket, and tried throwing back, but Wilder's onslaught was just too much, punishing Ortiz and dropping him again to close the show. Now, Wilder's punching power was never in question. His athleticism was never in question. This fight brought out the inner warrior in him and proved that he had the heart of a lion. Despite what he said in the post-fight interview, Wilder was badly hurt in that 7th round. And although he never fell down, it was clear that he was probably 1, maybe 2 more punches away from that fight being stopped or him getting put to sleep and then the fight being stopped. The fact that he not only recovered, but then exerted himself to win the fight rounds later via knockout shows that there was another element to Wilder's game that it took a fight like this to discover: willpower and fortitude. Great fight, because Ortiz gave Wilder all that he could handle. Amazing performance by Wilder. So what's next? The biggest heavyweight name in the game, Anthony Joshua, has an upcoming fight with another undefeated champion, New Zealand's Joseph Parker. On paper, that fight is nearly as dangerous for Joshua as this Ortiz fight was for Wilder. I do expect Joshua to beat Parker in a competitive fight. I don't expect this to be a blowout by any measure, but a Joshua win could then set the stage for the fight that everyone wants to see, and that's Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Joshua and his promoter Eddie Hearn have had an excuse not to make this fight happen, and that is that Joshua is the bigger name and the much bigger money fighter than Wilder, so it makes sense for Joshua to earn good money fighting other contenders like his upcoming opponent Joseph Parker, or even teasing a possible fight with the great but inactive and mentally questionable undefeated former champ Tyson Fury. But this latest Wilder KO of Luis Ortiz, added to an already impressive track record with great performances and devastating knockouts, and the public's appetite for this showdown with Joshua might have become too great to deny, and the mega fight could take place in Vegas, but more likely in Joshua's home country of Great Britain. Again, Joshua has a tough task ahead of him, but the way that things appear to be stacking up in the heavyweight division should be great news for fight fans. So let me know your thoughts on the fight and on the heavyweight division in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Woog, thanks for tuning in.